man on earth that I know took Chat GPT and flushed it down the toilet. I heard the
toilet.
When he did it to him, Chat GPT telling him what's right, and they didn't know.
No, I had to correct Chat GPT.
Dr. V.
It knows the right answer now. I'm going after the other LLMs.
And they have to get them straight. Dr. V, Joe talks or Joe speaks? Joe talks, right?
Dr. V presents Joe talks, like
presents,
TED Talks, but
presents.
Joe talks.
I always forget. Presents.
Joe talks
I don't
like
know if
TED
there's
Talks,
anything
but
there. Joe talks. And Justin America says, and Mark Freeman, good seeing y'all. Look, before we start breaking into this, we were talking the Ravens. You know how I feel about the Ravens. How nasty were they yesterday? Lamar and the King and the offense just. We were just talking about it. I think they had like 13 plays on one drive. It was all handoffs. Boom, thumbs up, baby. I love it.
It was mostly Lamar.
It's mostly Lamar and the King. Spartacus. Let me say something about Spartacus first, okay? Because I love Spartacus. Spartacus. Watch the Vikings against the Lions. Your quarterback regressed to what he used to be.
And he turned into a Jet again.
Oh, he did. Does he? Do they hand off? Do the Vikings hand off? I'm going to be watching them. We're cheering. I want you to know, Spartacus, Dr. V and I cheer for the Vikings. Unless, horrible, I'm with you, unless it's the Eagles or the Ravens. So we love you, but we were watching, going, wow, what happened? So we're cheering for you, but they better start handing the ball off because your quarterback is like it's a choke.
The lights were too bright for him. The lights were too bright.
Ooh, well, maybe he got it out of the system, right? Otherwise, he reminds me of Earl Morrall. And Earl Morrall in 68, what was it, 69, when the Baltimore Colts lost to Joe Namath, the Jets, Johnny Hughes' elbow was out. Earl Morrall played for the Colts, was our quarterback, led us all the way to the Super Bowl. Then it was because he was on the big stage, and it just seems familiar here. But we love you, Spartacus. We're going for you, and we're cheering for the Vikings. But until then, Ravens rock.
Ravens in the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
Ripped them apart. Yeah, waiting for the Eagles today. Who are the Eagles playing? Oh, the Eagles are out. Would you have a
we don't have a bye. Right? We have to play the Packers today at 4:30.
Well, you better. It should be a kill.
Packers.
It should be a kill.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not as confident in the Eagles as I am in the Ravens right now.
Well, you're always more confident in your friend's team than in your team. It's all because I got no confidence.
That's a Philadelphia mentality.
But I love them. I mean, I think the Eagles are incredible. I would say Ravens. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Look, we got to go through now. We want the Bills to lose, so we play Houston at home.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'll not be a close game.
Well, I don't know about that, but Houston have to play outside. It'd be freezing cold. They ain't used to it. We're ready for action.
You lucked out with that to get Houston would be great. And I'll tell you, Denver has a very good team. They could beat the Bills.
Go for it.
They could beat the Bills.
Because the next game would be home in Baltimore. I'd be going. I'm like, fuck. I'd be psyched. Sorry. Whoops. We don't allow that here. No cussing. Okay. Wanted to get to that. Here we go. It's going to be a big day of some football. But until then, let's get into some of the stuff. Let's get into what's most important is the LA Fires. The LA Fires are like, wow. Wow. I had no people out there. Your wife knows people out there. We have business out there. Wow. And you see it just going right up. And these pictures are incredible. And now they're rolling to like the 405. And unless you understand the 405, like 95 here on the East Coast.
Right.
It's not an interstate 405, but it's where everybody goes. It's like 4 or 5 lanes wide. And it's always bumper to bumper. It's coming up to the 405. It's jumped it before with another small one, I think, but it's just spreading. And the fire's supposed to be, the wind's supposed to be picking up. We always talked about California dreaming. When I grew up, was that Creek alleys, young girls coming to the canyon. Everybody wanted to go to California. Not now.
Nightmare.
Wow. Not only that, Doctor. And think about this. I keep hearing so many people don't have insurance. It's like in Florida. And ends up there. I'm going to say this. And understand, I talk from the heart. I love America, greatest country. I love our country, and we have to help all of our citizens whenever there's disasters like this. Okay. The problem is who's going to end up, we end up where we don't have these disasters as much. We're going to end up paying higher insurance rates because that goes on. And then it's because, and then you hear the government go, nobody's thinking about it. Everybody says got nothing to do with it. But nobody's talking about climate change and how it's making, and not making this happen. It's happening, but making it worse. How these incredible storms are getting bigger and bigger. Florida, they're starting to deal with it a little bit. They're putting houses on stilts. They're moving back and stuff, but still, lots of them are going to get wiped because they're on the water, and you got the hurricanes, but that wind comes in. But
Yeah.
here, you're in this lush, beautiful area. It gets dry, and I'll tell you, they get a lot of rain in California when it hits. They go drought, drought, drought. But then when it hits, they don't have like the reservoirs and things they need. They've never built whatever it takes to be able to hold the water, to be able to use it when they need it. You saw they drained one of the reservoirs just before this happened. That makes sense. And all everybody's talking about is the DEI captain, police chief, who's doing a marvelous job. Those firemen are doing great. What are you getting on people in DEI for? These people are putting their lives out, doing an incredible job. There aren't enough of them. There's not enough water. The infrastructure is falling apart. And these people are out there, and you got these loons out there talking DEI. Leave me alone,
I mean,
doctors. You
Mark,
run with it.
it's so despicable to me that a lot of the MAGA people, instead of being concerned with the citizens in California, instead of
Right
banding
on target.
together to deal with the issue, the MAGA people are looking for excuses, who to blame, how to make a political point out of this. That the budget was cut for the fire department, as if that mattered. It got cut like 17 million, but it was a budget over 300 million. That was not responsible for this, and yet they make a big deal out of that stuff.
Better call Saul.
They better cost Saul. Why are they making a big deal? Why are they trying to politicize something over the pain of other people? I don't get it. It is worth trying to figure out what happened, but we really need to sit down and find out if it is climate change affecting it. Or do we? Is this going to happen in the future? Do we need to put more resources into fighting this sort of thing? But I think there's certain fundamental trends that when people move in the desert, where do you think they're going to get the water from? And all these people are moving to Arizona and Nevada. How can we accommodate all those people living in the desert? They're going to have to
Yeah,
pull the
but they're
water
not
from
having
somewhere.
fires there. Wait a second. You got to stick with the fires here. The problem is the fires. So you need the water in the areas where the fires are. I mean, think about it. You lived in your house your whole life, and then makes God loves Dr. Feast, Marcus. Make me vomit. That's really bad. Let's see if there's a way I can erase that thing.
Thank you, Spartacus. Yeah,
Yes,
right on.
Forrest, yes, thumbs up on that one. I still love you though. We have to stick with the fire here. And what's going on? It's because you're up in mountains, you're in canyons, you've got these winds that always pick up. What is it, the Santa Monica winds or whatever?
Santa
That are
Ana.
always
Santa
picking
Ana
up in
wins. Yeah.
Santa Ana, whatever it is, and it's always picking up and rolling. And you got the hot winds that come in off the desert. Normally, the cooler, wetter winds that come in, or wetter, not as dry, that come in off the ocean, off the Pacific. But you got that coming. But the problem is, these homes are just going up like tinder boxes, and there's no way they're prepared for this. Which means that to have something like this means we were not prepared. Period. It's not the
So,
fireman's
Mark,
fault.
how do you prepare? Wait a second. How do you prepare for this? Are you going to get a hose and water the forest to get them moist again?
No, look.
There's a fundamental issue that the forests are too dry, and it's because they're not getting enough rain. The mountains don't have any snow anymore. That in the springtime that comes down and waters the forest. That there's a fundamental issue. It's not reservoirs. It's not the fire department isn't well manned
Right.
enough. It's that there's fundamentally an issue that you have dry forests ready to burn, and then all you need is a puff of wind, and then the fire spreads, and
But you
it's
got more
incredibly
than that.
difficult to
But you got
control.
more than that. The last few years when they had all this, look, I'm no expert. I'm upfront about it. The last few years when they had all this rain or all this snow or whatever it came down, they documented how they've got nowhere to put it. They've got
Hmm.
nowhere to put it. So all this water comes down and it just goes wherever it goes instead of being stored somewhere where it can be used for the people and used not just for this, for whatever. So that's all part, but it's going to what you're talking about, Joe. It's exactly what you're talking about. When you're looking at what's happening out there and how things are changing, how do you have to change what you do? Well, one thing they got to do is find a way to collect all the water they can collect when it's up in the mountains and they get some big winters and snows and everything, so they don't lose all that. That's one major thing they got to do. They got to start filling up aquifers. They may have to start changing certain crops. I don't know. Maybe your homes have to be built with more steel and rock and stuff because that doesn't burn as much. We're going to see the Getty Museum, which is there right off the 405. When you
Yeah.
drive the 405, you see it, has always advertised that it is not fireproof, but very much fire resistant. Now, I don't know if it's going to get there, but it's getting pretty close. It's built out of stone and steel and all this stuff. And we're going to see if it's really resistant or if it really isn't resistant. Okay. And then we're going to go from this. I just think those are the things. It's like in Florida, they're building things on stilts. You got to start. And it's like windows have to handle like 140-mile-per-hour winds on new buildings and stuff. You have all that going on. It's just going to take a while. That's what you got to do in California. I just think they got caught unawares. Look how gigantic that state is. I mean, and oh man, think of all the money. Just think if you had no insurance or very little and your house was $3 million. How many times have we talked about people being able, the kids being unable to buy a house to be able to build up their equity? And here we just saw all these people, Dr. V, who had lost so much of that equity going up in a puff of smoke.
Yeah, I think Spartacus makes some good points though, where he says that the fundamental issue is the consumption. That when you have people living where there's not much water, you're not going to be able to save enough water. It's not just
Maybe
filling
not.
bathtubs and then that's going to hold you over in a drought. That there's a fundamental issue, and the other issue is instead of making just homes resistant to fire, and I saw the devastation. There's no amount of stone or steel that's going to save those homes. Why are you building homes near this tinder that's going to go up? The insurance.
Because it didn't happen before. And now you got millions, you got hundreds of millions of dollars tied up in this. I mean, think about it. They're saying in certain areas it's like averages $3.5 million a house. I know that's exactly where you live. So it's, I mean, you live in a great area, but ain't three
It's
and a
not
half million.
three. Yeah,
Either is
no,
mine. We're nowhere near that.
no,
So if
no.
you're multiple, think about the numbers. And now all that land is going to be sitting. People are going to want to rebuild. It's going to be crazy. So you're not going to stop them from rebuilding. You can't.
Okay, so
So
how are you
now
supposed to wait a second, Mark? How are you supposed to rebuild when the insurance companies are losing money? They're not going to insure the homes. Who's going
then
to be
you
able?
make a
And the
decision.
banks, if there's no, if you don't have any insurance, the banks aren't going to put up a mortgage for the
That's
homes.
right.
So who's going to pay for these homes?
You don't know the answer. It's going
I
to
think
be
I
our
know
old.
the answer. I don't think
It's
I
going to
like
be
the answer.
it could be our old friends, the billionaires,
Yeah, I
who are
know.
going to come
Yeah,
walking in,
that's what
and
I
all
thought the
these
answer
other
was.
people.
That
Right.
takes us back to what we talked about last week.
Exactly. And all the other weeks. It's a circular. I'm telling you, it's a circle. Housing, all this. It's all circular. And you know, the billionaires, I mean, some people have the money. A lot of them live there. It was really, I was watching Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC. Very interesting. He had a place there, and he has a place in New York. And as he was broadcasting, he was saying there's a fire engine there. He said it's both comforting and scary. But he said he could sit there and have his place in New York. If something happened in LA or wherever he lived, he'd
That's
be sick
nice.
about it. But he has a place he can live. He's talking to me. He almost looked sad, looked a little bit wet on moist side about all these people. He said who just have that's their home, that's their life, that's
Yeah,
everything gone. And
yeah.
if you don't have all the insurance, and you have all these people who were living there, they had a whole group of people who were in mobile homes there. and they got all
Oh,
burned up. It was like a little middle class area, been there
yeah,
for years, gone. They're not going to be able to do that. And who's going to come in? Hey, Clorox, we love
exactly.
being grandpas. How about you, baby? The
Seeing the
uh,
grandkids today, by the way.
you
They're
saw
meeting
them.
right after this. They're coming
Oh,
over right after
cool,
this.
cool. But I mean, think about that. So now you got that, and you're losing all your money, and then all of a sudden the big boys are going to come walking in, and they're just going to pick up that people can't afford. There'll be some who can't afford it. They're just going to. That's what happens. It's like the Trump administration has been built for the billionaires. It's been built for all these guys. I mean, look, you got Bezos. Look, I'm not on these guys. They're doing what they think they got to do to make more money and stay successful.
What
I
what
ain't
are
one.
all these people who voted for Trump? What are they going to say when they realize Trump doesn't care about them?
Yeah, that's down the road, and he
That's
knows
down the
how to
road.
play
Okay.
them. Right now, that's not today. To me, today is I'm watching this. I'll use Ben. I guess I'm using Bezos, who owns the Post, who has a big. He has his Starship company that he's trying to put up there, and he's doing has one going up today or tomorrow or something. And he went out and shut down the editorial for Kamala Harris, and now he's publishing Amazon Melania's book and
Yeah, right, right, right.
poor and I say, and I can't get on him about it. I understand these guys are doing it because they want to make more money and they got to protect themselves. Ain't nothing nefarious, but that's not
Oh, well, here's the deal,
99%.
Brian. Brian, now
That's
wait a
not
second.
99% of America. And 99% of America aren't billionaires. And as the billionaires control our housing, and as the billionaires control our lending, and as I mean, look at what they're talking about, all this deregulation of banks. They're so psyched. You put the bankers loose, ball game's over. And you're not just talking banks. You got all that private black money, not private, it's in these companies like Blackstone and these guys who lend out massive amounts of money. And it's all sitting there. We don't know what's happening. We're all sitting back and we're all going, yeah, they're all given $1 million. It was a great article. There are no more perks for Trump to give out in the inauguration. All the big boys were giving out $1 million to him. He's got nothing else to give him. What's he going to do? Send him his Trump cologne? I mean, think about this. So it's going to be great. He's my president. He's your president. He's everybody's president. But let's look at what's coming down, and it's the billionaires,
Oh,
baby.
I'll get
They
my
are
popcorn
here.
ready. I'll get my popcorn ready. I'm going to see all the stuff he does on day one. All the stuff he said he was going to do on day one. What's he going to do on day one? We'll see. I might be wrong. I could be wrong.
Well,
We'll
he already
see.
said he can't bring prices down. Let's use an excuse.
Let's,
Of course,
Brian,
Trump.
you come back the first Sunday after January 20th and tell me what did he do that week? That's all.
Brian, it does.
And if he did
Brian,
all those things, I will have been wrong, and you're right. If he didn't
Brian,
do
wait.
those things, how are you going to
Let, let,
feel?
let's talk to Brian. Let's talk to Brian for a second. Brian,
No,
I
we
love
didn't
you.
say. Wait a second, Brian. We never said he was going to lose massively.
Who said
No,
that?
Brian in the chat. He says we said he was going to lose. No, I thought it would be close, and
I
actually, the
said,
popular vote was close.
right, and I said that I called Harris. I wasn't sure, but I said it was going to be whoever was going to win was going to win decisively. Remember, it's all right
Yes,
there. I
yeah. You
said it
said
was
it
going to
would
break.
break one way or the
It
other.
was going to break one way or the other, Brian. So wrong
And
to
if it,
you.
and
We got
look at our podcast. What
it's
was it like nine
there,
o'clock
right?
at
It's
night?
in the videos,
You look at the
Brian. I
video.
love
We're on
you. It's
record.
in
Look
the
at the videos.
videos.
Was it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? We came on and said it's over.
It's
It's over.
over. It's over. No question. It was like boring by then. So, but the bottom line was, I said, and that proved that we said it was going to break big, and it broke. But the funny thing is, it hasn't broken that big because right now there's only one more Republican congressman than there is Democratic congressman, and so and they lost a bit of their lead in the Republican. I'm sorry, in the House. So we're going to see, and I hope Trump does a good job, Brian. He's our president. I
Yeah,
want things
sure.
to go. We have real defense issues that Feel free to go into Just an American Citizen, please. Look at all the defense stuff I've talked about for years and all that. Look at the inflation stuff. I said a few years back, I put it at the end of the last stream. Yeah, Brian, it's there. Inflation ain't ending. I put that one there a few years ago. It's because it's too obvious. It cycles how things are moving. And Clorox, right. I said that I thought Kamala was going to win. I said, but what I felt strong about, not just a clip, get the whole thing, Clorox, and I said it was going to break hard one way or the other, and it wasn't going to be an issue. There was not going to be a multi-day thing. And that was where I was strong. I felt strongly about, and that was it. I mean, I was wrong with her, but who knew? I didn't know. I'm not great with that prediction, but I stayed strong throughout. It was going to break. Everybody kept saying it was going to be tight. I said it was going to break, and it broke. That's what happened, Clorox. We were there. We did it. We cried together that evening, said, that's it. Goodbye. Life's simple. So we were right, and that's why all right there. And the difference between, and thank you for commenting, though. We love your comments, even if they're
Yes.
wrong. We love your comments. Please give us thumbs up.
Yeah,
Even if you
and
don't like us, give
I'm
us the
happy
thumbs
to
up
be
and
held
talk to you.
accountable. If we're
What?
wrong about something, please speak up. Hold us accountable. That's fine. We're not going to be whiny people over here. If we're wrong, we'll admit we're wrong and move on. Not
Right
like
on.
some people on the other side who every time they're wrong about something, they have a million excuses why they were right or whatever. We'll man up and say, yeah, we were wrong about this. But the election was always going to be close. It broke with the electoral college for Trump. But if you look at the popular vote, it wasn't that much different between the two candidates. So the country is still pretty evenly divided. I hate to tell you, they're by next year at this time, I don't know what Trump's popular support is going to be. I
It
think there's going
won't
to be a lot
matter.
of disappointed.
It won't matter. Trump's got his cult, and they're there, and that's what it is. And then you have to hope that he does a few good things. That's how I'm looking at this. I mean, these guys, they think we're jumping Trump. I'm calling Trump for what he is. Look, guys, understand. You know how you have the clips of our videos? Can I have clips of your videos saying that when you put your stuff down, tell us when you were right, so I can see how correct you were? You got no clips. I love it when they got our clips. We don't erase our clips. We don't edit our clips. We leave them up there. If we're wrong, we're wrong. That's half the fun about this. Because when you're old and you see how many times you got things wrong, you learn how you get things correct. You go, wow, I learned from this. I learned from that. I do this and that. But we were right on this election. Unfortunately, wrong as to who the victor was. But we're going to see. We're going to go forward. There's a big defense thing. For instance, Trump said if all the hostages are not out of Gaza by the time he's inaugurated, all hell is going to break loose in Gaza. Well, number one, I want to know, hell hasn't broken loose in Gaza by now. I'm missing something there. And number two, what's he going to do? Do you notice that Hamas said they can't find all the hostages because they're dead? Up in northern Gaza, they said they can't find them. They can't give a list. They can't find them to make the deal. It's got to be because they're dead. So what's Trump going to do? So we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Is he going to hit
what's he going to do
Iran?
about the fires? He's Mike says what's going on in California is going to give Trump a lot of support. Why? They think Trump
Why?
is going to fix that? What's he going to do? Get one of his cards that he sells, put on a cape, and go fly over the state and blow the fire out like Superman? What is he
But
going to
but
do?
but,
How's he
but
going to
wait.
manufacture water? How's he's going
Well, that's
to
true. But
with
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. Hey, Mike, Trump didn't have a majority. The never hit 50%. I'm trying to understand, guys. California is America. Texas is America. When Houston has their problems, and they have them all the time with the either hurricanes or electricity, or they have their problems in Dallas, Americans take care of Americans because Texas is America,
yeah,
right? If
look at
there's
the
a wait,
farms.
I think what these guys are doing is they're going against where we are, and don't let them take us down. This is one thing I learned years ago, okay? Everybody wants to take you down the fox trail. But
Yes.
I'm hunting rabbits. And when you hunt rabbits, okay, Bugs Bunny, there he is. When you hunt rabbits, and people try to get you off of it because they know you're going to get it. They try to take you down the fox trail. And that's what these people do. The issue is this: we are all Americans. You can't get split up in the middle of disaster. Disaster is when America stands up together for
Yes.
Americans.
Yes.
And what's happening here, and I love our comments. Thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate it. Okay. But our position here on Just American Citizen and Dr. V and me is that we are Americans. We're
Yeah.
just American citizen. And it doesn't matter what state the problem occurred, we have to work together to help that state because they are Americans. Doesn't matter if it's Alabama, Mississippi, Michigan, Maine, Arizona, California, Texas. It's America. And that's what I don't like seeing here. But hey, First Amendment on our channel, anybody can say what they want to say. Go ahead.
I was going to say is look at Texas and agricultural support that we give to that country, to not the, to that state. Okay, guess how much money we give in terms of supporting that state to help with insurance and help with their agriculture. $2.3 billion last year in support. This is what the country does. It tries to help people. Now, we could wonder why one industry gets favored over another industry, and I have my theories about that. But why are people crying that we're now going to help California?
Maybe Trump did nothing the best. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why are they crying about helping California, and they don't say anything about supporting other states? They're
Because
really
because you're
selective.
saying because you're saying two different things. Please
Go ahead.
don't get mad at me, Dr. V. I
Okay.
want you all to understand something. This is one of the smartest guys I've met in my life, but it doesn't matter how smart he is. I love him. Okay. And he knows what I was about to say. I could hug him if I saw him there.
I
Look, the issue here is disaster relief. Just like what happened in Asheville, North Carolina, where they had people saying they can't, FEMA couldn't go in if it was a Trump supporter. What, you can't do that. That's America. You got to help Americans. It didn't matter if they're Trump supporter theirs or not. You had to help the Trump supporters, period, because they're Americans. It doesn't matter who they support. California is the same way. We have to go down the same factual predicate here. It's emergency, it's destruction, it's disaster, it's Americans standing up for Americans. We stand up for them in Asheville, and it's still wiped out in Asheville. We got to stand up for them in California. We got to stand up for Americans anywhere when there's a disaster. That's the bottom line.
and
That's where I'm
and
coming
and
from.
you're right. And come together as a country to help people who are suffering, not make a political a statement about it, not try to divide the country. And that's what gets me upset. You know, and the people who are in the MAGA cult who think the guy everything he says is the gospel truth. I want people to think for themselves a little bit. Don't be a sheep. Think for yourselves. What what are the facts? What are the data? And don't look for simple solutions like $17 million cut from a fire department fund, as that's the reason why the fires are out of control. There's more fundamental issues at stake here, and we need to sit down as a
Good, King.
country and look at them seriously.
I agree with you, but I think again, it's not I think it's a matter again of coming back to us looking at it ourselves as Americans. And I'm not seeing it that much.
Yeah, there's too much
I like what
Democrats
King
this,
said there.
Republicans that. It's Americans. I think you're absolutely right, and I think most of the country is actually on that. But there are some people I think in the media and to some extent, especially the social media, that wants to divide us apart because that generates more interest. You sell more newspapers, you get more
Right,
viewers, you get more
right.
clicks. We're not about getting the clicks.
Well, we
We're
like them
about
if you want to
spreading
come.
real information to people and
Right.
focusing on facts. And that's the thing
And
that
our
gets me the
opinions.
most upset.
And our opinions based upon the facts as we see the facts, as we read the facts. That's all. That's what we do. We're an opinion provider here. And that's why we love it. And we're not going for it. We get a lot of views that we don't get a lot of views, but we're not looking to get people worked up. except to say that, do I think, I'm honest on how I feel about Trump. Go on to Just American side. Look, I haven't erased anything. I don't like him, but if he does a good job, I'll love him. That's it. But King Fire. King
You don't
Fire.
call him Hitler.
Nobody here called him Hitler.
No,
I
no,
didn't call him Hitler.
didn't call him
Dr.
Hitler.
V didn't call him Hitler. And that's what you're missing here. Right on, Mitch. Right on, Mitch Miller. Didn't he also have a TV show where you sing along with Mitch
Yeah,
and had
yeah,
a little
sing along
ball that
with
went
Mitch,
around?
yeah,
Look into that, Mitch Miller. Maybe he had a little goatee.
he
Nobody had the
did.
goatee. That's incredible. But King, we never used those words here. We were clear about that. Did I say I thought Trump was garbage? Yeah. But Hitler, no. We don't use those words, Nazis and Hitler here, because it doesn't work. This is America. We do our thing. You say what you say, you believe what you believe, and you go with it. It's just that simple. So we didn't say that. So to say we said it is just not true. That's just fake news. So I'll work on it from there, but I appreciate maybe you misunderstood something we said. Now you don't misunderstand it. Find me one clip where we said it. But come back on where
Okay,
we are
so
with
Mike,
America.
Mike
What?
has a point. So I think on Fox News, people are getting information like there's money taken away from the fire department, and somehow that has something to do with the fires being out of control. Okay. When I looked at the actual data, there was a reduction in the budget for the fire department in Los Angeles. They went from like $350 billion to $333 billion.
It was like 17 million.
It
It
was
wasn't
70,
49
yeah.
million. It
Yeah,
wasn't
man, I'm sorry,
49
maybe it
million.
wasn't billion. It was $1 million. Yeah, it's $1 million, $17 million, which is
Right.
ouch change for the billionaires there, right? Any of the billionaires, they could take the interest that they would earn in a day, and that could cover the difference. Okay, that's not why the fires are there, but people are using that as a reason to get people divided, to get people angry. Say, see how the Democrats, the policies of the Democrats are causing all these problems. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. And I know it's going out on media because I hear the exact same quotes from friends who support Republicans. At one chat that I go to and another chat that I go to, they're all spewing the same exact quotes. So they're getting them from somewhere. And
Mitch, go on to Google. I'm sorry. Go on to Google and Google Mitch Miller TV show. Yeah, you'll see your show. I wonder if you look like that. It's just too much, Mitch. And it was sing along with Mitch, and it was like a big show. Like, we're old. We can tell you these old shows. I think, what was it, late 50s, early 60s?
yeah,
Sing
yeah, sing
along
along
with
with
Mitch.
Mitch. Yeah, yeah.
Sing along with Mitch. So check it out, Mitch. I love you already. And, and you're right also, Dr. V. But I think okay, please check it out. Give us a thumbs up, Mitch. We love you. And Mike, understand where it was. We love you too, baby. And
We
it was,
love you too, right? And
and it was like,
I'm not blaming Mike because that's the information that he gets. That
that's what that's what he gets. But what you have to do is you really have to sit back and wait until it's over and do a full check, because you can find this problem, you can find that problem, like that reservoir, which the governor is saying had nothing to do with anything, which makes me wonder. But they were fixing it. So here, the fire department a month ago, the fire chief, the DEI fire chief, who's so horrible, sent a letter to the city council, I think, a month before, saying there's these winds, we're not ready, or whatever's coming in, or we'll have a hard time handling it. And then they decided to work on a reservoir and drain all the water out of it. So I don't know, but that water's gone. So they did. Why would they drain that reservoir and do work when they know they're
that's
coming to the
worth,
bad wind marks?
when this is
Stuff like
over,
that,
it's
they're going to
worth
have to look
checking
into
all
all
that
that.
out. Yeah,
Right. They're going
absolutely.
to have to look into all that. But Trump can't do anything about that. Trump won't do anything. What's Trump going to do? Trump, like you say, is going to fly over it, blow out
Superman.
all the winds with his super wind, his super breath. Okay. All I can tell you is you look at guys like Big Papa, we love you, baby. You look at guys like Trump, and then you go, let's look at Rudy Giuliani. Wonder why everybody around Trump always gets in trouble. You saw Rudy was found in contempt of court. He may be going to jail. What the judge finally did with this, I mean, this is a guy who used to be He was supposed to be big time. He's no longer a lawyer. He's been disbarred, I think, in 2 states. And nobody believes him. He's a liar, period, the end. And he smiles like it's nothing. His lawyer had to pull out because he wouldn't deal straight with his lawyer. He wouldn't deal straight with his lawyer. He had to get out. Thank you for the thumbs up. Please, we'll take thumbs up. We're like, I'll take a scratch, like my dog will take a scratch. Please give us thumbs up. We love it. Subscribe to Just an American Citizen or Dr. V
Joe
presents
talks.
Joe Talks. Presents Joe Talks.
I'm up
So
to
we'll go with
12. I
all
need 50.
right. Mike, it ain't about a woke. It's a matter of people not being prepared. We weren't prepared for 9/11. It wasn't because of woke. We weren't prepared for 9/11. Now we're prepared for it again. And look what's happened. Hopefully, we weren't prepared for Challenger when Challenger blew up, right? Remember, it blew up in front of everybody. You have to hope that you learn from these mistakes and then go with it. And that's what's going on. And it's just nasty. All these Americans getting handled. But there's nothing Trump can do about this. What else I put in the description there? Go. And so, meanwhile, you talk about housing. Look how this all kind of goes. We talk about owning those homes. It's going to be owning the land on those homes. And then who has the money to be able to make the land as foolproof as possible to fire? And who has the money to not need the insurance to make the land, even if the land isn't foolproof? Voila! The billionaires and the billionaires and the schmillionaires, and they're going to own it. We'll probably find some nice big homes on there, or maybe a multi-family house there where they can have some apartments and stuff and make their money, because they love to make their money. Oh, I think I saw they've almost overbuilt these big rich guys. They've almost overbuilt the apartments. I think they have too many apartments right now and can't lease them out of the high-end apartments. Then sell them. Okay? Don't hold on to them. Sell them. Give people a deal. Let people buy a home. Let people have a chance to have a house. Let Americans have a house, billionaires. Do it. You're pumping your cash into Trump. You got all this housing here. Give people a chance. Give people a chance. I've had it. We got to do it. It's all housing. We get smacked on housing anytime. I love you, Mike. There it is. Mike, you're okay. And the bottom line is,
Yeah, Mike has good points.
Mike's okay.
Yeah, Mike has some good points. Yeah.
I like Mike. Mike, send your friends in to watch us. We love you. So you look at this, and I got Mike going down the rabbit hole. I don't know about that. One more time, love you, Spartacus. What I'm
It's
doing
just
is
we need to collect the facts here. If
no.
it's the
What
case,
happened here? Can I,
right,
Doctor?
sure.
Because this goes more to your big heart. Can I go to this? What Mike did, I think Mike understands it. We may disagree with him, but we like him and we welcome him and we're happy he's here. And I think he's saying he feels like he can come here and say what he wants and not worry about people attacking him and getting personal, and can tell us what he believes. I say that you feel comfortable, right on. That's what we want here, but we're not going to get a zillion clicks active. We have people come in, come out, come in, come out. Send your friends in. Send your enemies in. We don't care, but we love you all. We have a great time here.
That's right.
Thank you, Spartacus. Go ahead, Dr. V. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Manuel, here we go. Mass deportation. Who are you going to deport, Manuel?
Here we go to the
Manuel, tell me who we're going to deport. Who are we going to deport? The Italians?
This is
Let's deport the Italians. There's too much pasta.
No.
There's too much pasta. We're having an issue. We got to get rid of the pasta.
Make this country great. What are you talking
about? Yeah,
about?
but pasta, it's not good for you.
I love pasta.
Heavy carbs.
Raviolis. I had ravioli last night.
Heavy carbs and all that cheese. We gotta mass deport the Italians.
10 years ago, you're supposed to eat a lot of carbs and not eat meat and fat. Now it's just supposed to eat meat and fat, not the carbs. In 10 more years, they're going to change it again. That's all I know is the Mediterranean diet is the healthiest diet you can.
I know, but
there's a lot of data to support that.
I like it. Mike, my point is Rudy Giuliani is exhibit A of what happens when you give your life to Donald Trump. That's all. He's exhibit A.
How many lawyers of his?
He got destroyed. His reputation was destroyed. What?
How many lawyers of his have gone to jail?
Where they've gotten disbarred or gotten in trouble. I'm just saying Rudy is the example. Mike says The issue isn't Rudy. The issue is he is the example of what happens when you give up your life for Donald Trump and you don't use your
Yes.
mind and you don't use your brain. And that's what happened. And he blew everything away. You love pasta. Spartacus pasta's okay. I need red sauce. I'm not into white sauce. But I'm just telling you, they're called manuals. Calling. Wait a second. Manuel, you want to get rid of 1 million Italians in the first 30 days? Oh my gosh. You better call your cousins, Dr. V. You better call the
I
whole
know.
family.
Yeah,
We're
there
getting
we
rid
go.
of the
We're worried.
Italianos. What are we going to do? Oh, mamma mia. What are we going to do? I need some manicotti before you leave,
No, nobody
please.
was worried about deporting Italians when they were importing all these stonemasons from Italy to build these beautiful stone houses for the rich people. Nobody was complaining about Italians then. This is ridiculous. There's not going to be 1 million people deported. There won't be. Who's going to
There'll be
pick the
some.
crops? Who's going to
There'll be,
pick the crops?
hopefully, it'll be the criminals. Hopefully, it'll be the ones
Oh, the
who are
criminal for
doing things
sure.
they should get rid of.
Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. For sure. In my program, where at the Volpicelli Center, we actually have a program where we do physicals for immigrants and we help them get citizenship. And for the people who are not healthy, it would be a drain on the uh, medical system. We don't pass them for their physicals. They go through it right. And the people who come in are really good people. A lot of them are really hardworking. They love this country. They're great assets to this country. We don't want to deny people citizenship, but you can't close the door to legal citizenship. And that's what people are complaining about, that there's too many illegals. It's part of why there's illegals is because the legal path has been shut to a lot of individuals. And we need to open up that path and close the border to people who shouldn't be here. It's pretty simple. And I don't know why we can't come together as a country and deal with this issue instead of making it a political football.
And in the 1800s, they wanted to throw the Italians out.
They
We
did.
all weren't alive then. They just wanted to get rid of them. Nobody was talking manicotti.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
then
bottom
the Irish
line.
before that, the
That's
Irish
the
before.
bottom line. Good food, but hey, I love the Italians. I love the Italians. They're crazy. You ever see that ad for that dog food? It's great. It's made out of people food. It's in the refrigerator, and they've got the like the mafia guys sitting around the table, and some guy opens it up and says, "What do you? What's this?" And they go, "It's dog food." He says, "What do you got dog food in the refrigerator?" And he goes, "It's for the dog." And he looks at me, "We need you put your dog." And then it says nothing. Then all of a sudden, all the guys get up, and then it goes black, and then it comes back. He's scratching the dog's head and said, "Tell him you were with your grandmother when this happened."
That was a good. That's a good
I
commercial.
like that ad.
That's a
It's
good
a really
commercial.
good ad.
That's a
But
good
that's the
commercial.
Italians. That's why we got to get rid of them. That's the problem
Well,
with the
that's
dog
that's a
food
myth
ads.
that all Italians are in the mafia. We're not in the mafia, but we do have family values. We like our pasta, and we help each other like other immigrants who, when they come in this country, they stick up for each other to help the culture grow. But the Italians have become assimilated. We're part of the that soup. We added our own little garlic to the soup, but we added the flavor, and that's what makes this country great. Is that we come together, we add individual ingredients, and the pot is stronger because of all the ingredients that we add to it.
It depends on what kind of pot you're talking about. Now, on Crazy Crunch, who's there, we agree with you, Crazy.
Yes,
This is what we've been
Crazy's right
saying
on
from the
target.
beginning. All those Americans, I'm sorry, all those who have been in line to who apply to be Americans in immigration, get them in here. What is the holdup? Give them the test, let them pass the test, and make them Americans. If they come in line and they've done it, why does it take so many years to become an American? When you get in line, give them a chance to get in. Stick the DACA people in that line too. They've been here all these years. These are people. Then the next group are the people who are making money. We're going to get those same questions again, possibly, who are making money and are paying taxes and are paying into our Social Security, but are not citizens and do not get those benefits that we get from that money they put in. Put them in line to then become citizens. Yeah, Crazy. We agree. Let's start moving it. Make the legal path easier because you're talking years. Why should it take years to become a citizen? What, 5, 6, 7 years? Shouldn't take that long. Let them learn, bring them in, give them a chance. Few years, let's get rocking. These people want in. They want to be Americans. Let's bring them in. They're the best Americans we will ever have. They come in, they swear to America. You talk to them afterwards, they're crying. They're so proud they're Americans. What are we talking about? What is the problem? It shouldn't be hard to get this immigration stuff worked out. It just shouldn't. And then we come together because America is an idea. America's not an ethnic. America is an idea. We're not Japan. Japan's a great country, but they're Japanese. We are America, people, ideas. They come for the idea. You stay here for the living good because it's such a great country. And then we take those different ideas when people come in and we take what's so great, that First Amendment and all the others, and we spice it up with our different ideas and things start changing as things start moving. We make the pie bigger. The economy gets bigger. People do better because we are all one. We are one. We are different, but we are the same. And that's what our strength is. And yes, Crazy Crunch, you got me worked up, but that's the bottom line here. We are major immigration people here, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be done correctly. And we got to clear out, get the right people in here. Right on, Eddie.
Yeah,
Hey,
Eddie's
7 years, Eddie.
right on target.
Inexcusable. 7 years. What a joke. To let good people become Americans? What are we missing here, huh? What are we missing? We let the illegal people get in and get around and do their thing. And then these people who are lining up to do it right, to follow the rules, to be Americans, and we don't give them a chance. That's where we are.
Yeah, so Eddie wonders why we don't start businesses so immigrants can work. I don't know about immigrants, but I know the sons and daughters of immigrants I hire. I have several working with me right now, and they're the hardest group. I have a woman nurse practitioner who her family is from Africa, and she works hard. She's great. She's excellent. So, uh, many times the sons and daughters of the immigrants are some of the hardest working people in the country, and I'm happy to hire them. So, yeah, I agree. We should start businesses to help immigrants who want to work find work and be able to earn a living. And we should offer them citizenship and make them part of the country. There's nothing wrong with that. That I think is what made this country sort of unique and stronger. And we don't want to get away from that. It's
But we got to
I
deal with the
just
backup.
I just
We
don't
got,
like I just don't like it when somebody's trying to make political points by blaming other people, by saying it's the Haitians who are eating the cats and dogs. It divides us. It makes us weaker, and it might improve their political standing. It might help them get elected, but it might get them more clicks on social media. But it's poisonous. It's like a
there's a diet of
carcinogen in the country, and that's what I object to. And it's not even necessarily Trump's policy so much as that attitude of trying to divide us and pull us apart. Now, keep in mind, I don't think the people on the left are innocent of this either. There's people that the woke police who, my God, if you say the wrong pronoun, they
no,
come
Bobby.
on you.
It doesn't.
I agree with that.
That's getting killed. Let me
That's a
ask you
bunch of
something.
crap. That's a
I
bunch of
want I
crap.
want to know something, okay? Because you brought an issue. Does a strict diet of cats and dogs, is that like not good for you? You said it really is not that good for you, and I was
No, I
wondering,
don't think it's
is a strict diet of
too
cats? I
much
thought it would be all
cholesterol. Too
protein.
much cholesterol. Yeah.
It wouldn't be all protein. You couldn't just
No,
cook
no,
out
it's
the
too much
fat.
cholesterol, the
Is,
wrong kind of fats. They got the trans fats in there.
is that what it is?
It's
I
the
wasn't
trans fat.
sure.
You need
I've
the
been sitting here
omegas.
thinking.
You need the
I've been sitting
omegas.
here
You need to eat
thinking.
fish. You need to eat fish to get the omega 6 and omega 3.
I
That's
only
what
like
you need.
salted fish and the smoked fish. That's what I like for that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's where we are with all that. I'll tell you, it's just crazy. Meanwhile, as a little aside, I don't know if all of you saw they had that plane crash in South Korea, when the South Korean plane came in and hit the head on and blew up, and they don't know what happened. They found the black box. The last 4 minutes of the black box is like gone. It's like erased. There's like nothing on there. It got turned off. It's crazy. There's something that went on there. It could have been It could be like fighting with the pilot. The pilot was just trying to come down. Very interesting stuff when you see that. Now that could be that's good stuff that people like to talk about.
There's
They
some
should get,
rabbit hole. There you
yeah,
go.
there's a zillion rabbit holes there you can talk. Who knows what's going on, but it can't be good. It can't be good, okay? I'm waiting. I'm also waiting to see, once again, what's Trump going to do to Gaza? Oh, hell is going to break loose. I'm waiting for hell to break loose. If I lived there now, it would be hell. I'm waiting for hell to break loose. Well, I don't know. All I know is in another week or two, the
Another
man's going to get sworn
eight
in.
days, everything's going to be solved. All the
Then it's going to
fires are
be
going to go
real.
out. All the wars are going to end. The crisis in the Middle East will be solved. Inflation will go down. Cost of energy will go down.
Well, he already said he can't bring inflation down.
He said before he was going to bring it down. So
But he said he can't now. He said it's too hard. And
uh,
then he already said it. He says
he's
too
going to
hard.
fix the healthcare system with a beautiful plan. I heard.
Well, he's gonna get Luigi released. That's his plan. And let Luigi lead the revolution. Okay, that's what he's going to do there. I'll tell you this: he's already killing the inflation here in America. We were talking about in the last few weeks. We were talking about how people are already expecting the all these the taxes and stuff he's going to put on the imports are going to raise it. The tariffs are going to raise the prices. And he's going, no, it's going to be focused, it's going to be this. And we've been seeing for the last few months that the TV prices have been slowly going up. Some other things are slowly going up. Well, as an example, we needed a new medicine cabinet, some new medicine cabinets. They were on sale. Nice, but nothing great. We got them. They're still on sale. We got them a week ago. They're now up $35 more
There you
on
go.
sale. That's what's happening. People are already
That's
seeing
going to bring
Trump come
inflation
in.
down. Don't you know that?
They're bringing it up. Look at this, guys. This is facts. But then you always learned in American history, you want things to go bad the first 2 years, so the last 2 years you look good and you look great. The
Yeah, but
problem is
he's a
Trump
lame
is,
duck. He's a lame
well,
duck.
but yeah, but he's coming in looking good though. Look at this employment. What was it, 200 some odd thousand
Hmm.
people last month? And it's just incredible, these numbers. The economy's cooking. People can buy basically what they want. We got all the food we need. You got all the clothes you need. You got heat. You got air conditioning. You got good football teams in certain states. You got horrible ones in other ones. And you just got it. You got it good. It's really good here. And we really got it good here. And Trump's coming in and saying he's going to make it. You know what Trump should say? It's not make America great again. He should say make America greater again if he was smart. Then he says we're already great. He's making it greater, but he can't do it. His problem is he's going to take it. All of a sudden, we're going to hear in a couple of weeks, man, the employment is great. Look what I did for employment. I broke the records. And then, meanwhile, the stock market ain't doing that good with him in there either. So we've got all this going on. Trump, I'm not a real supporter, but we're looking to do this and watch him do this. He's
Okay.
going to do better for his
Eddie wants a
entire
wager. What's the
presidency.
wager, Eddie? I'm not opposed to a wager now and then.
Oh my gosh, we don't do this. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. But it
We're not
makes you
allowed to
wonder with
wager
this.
on here.
Leave me alone. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen with all this stuff. Oh man. Here we go. Chronic pain. I'm telling you, they're talking about Luigi and all the chronic pain, another article, and it tears you apart. I know chronic pain does, but it doesn't give you the right to kill people. It doesn't give you the right to say, I hurt, my back hurts, and I'm gonna kill somebody because my back hurts. I don't know the person. I don't know anything about it, but my back hurts. But it's gotten quiet. They've gotten smart. Their lawyers have gotten smart and kept it underground. They may work something out for it. I don't know about Luigi. I don't know. We'll have to see. When everything is better, Eddie, everything's pretty good right now. We're the greatest country in the world. Where would you want to move? Where
We
would
are
you
the
want
greatest
to move,
country in the
Eddie?
world. We do have issues that if we work together, we could
We
solve.
say it all the time, all
Yeah,
the
so that's
issues.
all.
There's a zillion of them, but it's still the greatest country in the world. Where do you want to live? Put it in the comments. You don't like it here? Where do you want to live? Tell me what's better. Where are you going to get better TV? Where are you going to get better football? Where are you going to get better baseball? Where are you going to get better friends? The guy in the glasses keeps picking his nose. I ain't picking my. Look, I got a big schnoz. Okay, but mine's not picking my nose. What's going on here? If I did, my hand would disappear. My schnoz is so big. Come on, man. You're missing something, SW. Come on. Right on,
America
Spartacus. You're
is always
missing
number one. We agree with
SW.
Spartacus. Yeah, we
Yes,
agree
what's
with
with
Spartacus.
SW? Picking my nose. I'm waiting for that one. Is that my nose? I don't think it's my nose up there. So I love it though. But it's hopefully they look NATO's going to here we go, the
Pillow
pillow
guy.
guy.
It took
Here
54
we
minutes
go.
to people to mention the pillow guy. What's
How
going?
many
Come
times
on,
have I
Chad. You
had to
guys are
die?
really slacking here.
Local things we have to, we're totally energy independent if we want. We got all the gas and oil we need, and we got solar. We're in great shape. We don't have to worry about that. No new wars. We'll see. We're really not in a
But
war.
they
What war? What
he's
war are
listing the
we in
things
right
that Trump
now?
did. He's listing all the things that Trump did during his presidency. Energy independence, no new wars.
We've always had energy independence. And what war? We're not at war now. What war are we in now? What war are we in now? We're not in a war. They're warring against us. You're funding hiatus. Funding hospice, whatever that is. I don't know. But things are good. You want to
Hamas.
move to
He funded
Mexico? Move to
Hamas.
Mexico. The
He funded.
gangs would love to have you in Mexico. They need people because they're becoming legitimate, whatever that means politically, and they're going to be
Spartacus
doing it.
makes a good point that the pandemic helped kept the border crisis at bay a little bit because we weren't letting people into the country because of COVID.
The pandemic also helped bring up all this inflation and all this stuff came
Yeah,
about.
right. And pandemic lowered the need for more oil because people weren't traveling, so it brought the cost of gas down. So it had that benefit. But the problem is, after
Look,
COVID was over,
we
there
got
was a rebound.
local. We're not at war. We're giving weapons and money to a country that was invaded by a thug, Vladimir Putin, who kills people, a thug and a killer. Nothing more than that. What's wrong with helping your friends? You don't help your friends? I bet you got friends, local things. And I bet you if your friend called you up and said, help me out, I'm really in trouble, you wouldn't help your friend? Of course you would. Of course you would. You help your friends because if it goes, it just falls. If one goes, then they go into another place and they take it, and then he moves into another place. And then we lose our economic independence because we deal in Europe. We trade in Europe, guys. Remember that? Where's all that money going? All the stuff we buy, all the stuff we do with them over there. They buy our LNG. They buy a lot of our stuff. You don't want to deal with Europe anymore? Is that the whole idea? Sure, Ukraine is our friend. They're worth us. They ain't with Russia. Russia is invading Ukraine because they are afraid Ukraine is our friend. Otherwise, Russia wouldn't feel threatened by Ukraine. But Russia feels threatened by Ukraine because they see Ukraine as being an American friend. That's all it
Yes,
is. The
that's
thug, the murderer, the killer, the guy who pushes people out the windows, the dirtball, Vladimir Putin. Do I like Trump? No, but he ain't Vladimir Putin. And that's why whoever was saying it earlier, we don't talk that way here. We deal with our American politicians. We don't like them, we'll call, but we know who thugs are. We know who killers and murderers are. And they ain't American politicians.
yeah.
They're these
Eddie's right.
dirtballs over there.
Eddie's
Okay,
right.
what?
Russia is threatened by the UN, by
Nobody's
NATO
threatened by
mostly,
the
as opposed to the
UN.
UN, but by NATO.
Who is threatened by the UN? What is the
NATO. I
UN? Is
think he
a
meant NATO,
joke.
right,
The
Eddie? You meant
UN is a
NATO.
when I grew up, NATO he means,
Well,
yeah,
I
they're
think he
threatened
means
by
NATO.
NATO.
Yeah.
If he means NATO, I'm happy you're reading his mind. You got the Vulcan mind meld. Dr. V could do the Vulcan mind meld right through
I
the
know what Eddie
video
meant.
here.
I know what Eddie meant.
Local things don't use words like ignorance. We don't use them. It
Spartacus
doesn't
is right
work.
on target.
Right. It doesn't work. Ignorance doesn't work. You want to disagree, go ahead, disagree. But don't call people names. It's just wrong. They're not going to listen. You're not going to get them to listen to you. You want somebody to listen. They may not agree with this argument, but they may walk away and go, well, this guy's good. I can listen to him. And the next argument will agree with you. That's what you got to do. You got to do it. He says boycotting Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. What's the deal on Twitter? I don't
Well,
boycott it. It's
it's
the people on there.
little
I
things.
wasn't on there
It's
before.
possible that some people volunteered, some Americans volunteered to fight in the Ukrainian army, and they have a right
Okay.
to do that. But that's
Okay.
not we're not sending soldiers there. No,
No way. The Russians have lost hundreds of thousands, injuries and major injuries and murder and deaths. Hundreds of thousands of people. He just pushes his guys. That's the way Stalin did. They just push them into the meat grinder. Now they take the North Koreans and push them in. These are great people to emulate. Great countries. Go there. Eddie, the local thing, you think it's
It-
good. I don't think
Putin
you guys
doesn't care
really
about
believe
you.
it's that good
Putin
because
doesn't
you
care
couldn't
about his
talk like
people.
this. Well, we've had some good people that have come on from India. I've seen a couple British. I love them. We love our foreign friends. And whatever happened to that Russian guy was coming after us last week, he disappeared because we weren't going to listen to him. Bottom line is, well, we listen, but we just say you're wrong. Bottom line is,
But
Russia, you're right, it's a bot. Russia is dirt. Russian people are good. Russian government is dirt, period. I mean, beyond dirt. I'm sorry. Thugs, liars,
thugs.
murderers, cheaters, people who don't care. Those at the top. They're there for themselves. How much money does Putin have? He's another one of the billionaire boys. So they all kind of can, work things out because money, money. What is money buys you everything? What was that Cindy Lauper, right? It's all right there. It's money. That should be the song Trump plays every time he comes out. Money
Are you
buys
talking
you
Pink Floyd
everything.
again?
Can't buy
Pink
Pink
Floyd?
Floyd. Let me tell you something, Pink Floyd. You're pushing me onto this
Money.
thing.
It's the root of all
Can't buy it.
evil.
Let me tell you. Today's music, we got to talk about it quickly. I don't have an album of
I
them.
know
Like,
you
what do you
love
want?
Pink Floyd, but what else you got?
Peter, Paul, and Mary,
Oh,
Pink
yeah.
Floyd.
There you go.
Peter died. He had his issues. We'll stay away from that. But let me tell you about Peter, Paul, and Mary. It's hard to understand. I know I was a kid. I was in the mid 60s. I was in elementary school. Dr. V was in elementary school. But their songs were songs you can still sing to kids today, but really mattered. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody now
There you
saying
go.
it was drugs. Peter swore it had nothing to do with it. If I had a hammer, who's that? Pete Singer? I'd hammer in the morning. This land is your land. We should be singing that every day. What a great song. This land is my land. I mean, come on. This is great. This is Peter, Paul, and Mary. Then they started getting a little bit of rock. I love rock and roll music. And then leaving on a jet plane.
There you
Really
go.
good. And it led to stuff like the Mamas, the Papas, because they talked about the Mamas, the Papas, and the association and great groups like that. MOR rock. I admit, I always had a bad ear. I love ear for MLR, middle of the road rock, but I love heavy rock. But I can put up with that stuff, which is great. But that's what that kind of stuff is. So it's here we are. We're going. We got to get
Local
moving.
things
That's our
here. I
album.
take your challenge. I do want to have an honest debate, and you're free to express any opinion here. And we're going to approach it from a very logical perspective. Bring your data, bring your facts, and we'll have a discussion. There's not that many places where people from different views can come together and have an honest discussion, and I love to do that. And
And we're not
when I'm wrong,
excusing
I'll admit I'm
anybody's
wrong.
failures. We don't live in California. They're going to have to figure out what their mistakes were and deal with it. Like in 9/11, we had to
Right.
figure out our mistakes and learn what it was there. And local things, we've been responding to you all the time, and we're glad to. We are on every Sunday at 11 o'clock. Bring your friends in, local things. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate people who agree or disagree with us. Please bring them in because as things start picking up over the next few weeks, we're going to be starting to pick things up. And we love our community and we love our friends here. We think you guys are great. And I just appreciate everybody who comes on and gives us trouble all the time. It makes for more fun. Dr. V's going to have his grandchildren. I'm going to be sitting here cheering on the Denver Broncos to beat the Buffalo Bills so we get Houston here in Baltimore next week. We're going to be cheering for the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to be cheering for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a long day today. A lot of fun, a lot to eat. Got my chicken, got all ready to go. Already ate a little before we came on. We love it. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. And I love Dr. V. Mark Friedman, just an American citizen. Please check out my channel. Please look at it. Please comment there at any time. I'll come back to you. Dr. V presents Joe Talks.
Joe
And you
talk.
go
Yeah.
right on there. It's
I
a
need another
presents.
30 subscribers, and then I can go live.
Go then, do it. Do us subscribers. Give us more subscribers. Just American Citizen. Dr. V presents Joe Talks. And we go all the way with it. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah, and local things, bring your topics. We're happy to discuss them and have a real
Or,
discussion.
or little things, put them on Just an American Citizen. So we will be prepared. Put some comments up on Just American Citizen. Anybody can. We will be prepared to deal with those when we come on and deal with you. That will be tremendous. I'm with Joe on that. So please do it. Gets us all ready. We'll see you all next week. We think you all are great. Thank you. And that's the way it is.
Period.
Period. Baby. See ya.